Okay. Hello. Welcome. So, this place might look familiar to you. Looking around. Yeah, some of this may indeed look familiar. If you've been watching my streams. This is a place that goes by the name of Milton Valley Railroad, although the actual Milton Valley is this bit up here, and this bit down here isn't actually part of the Milton Valley, but it is part of the Milton Valley Railroad. If you're wondering why I'm now suddenly able to stream development on this when I wasn't able to for a while, that's because issues have been fixed on this computer, which isn't my normal computer. This is in fact Kango's computer. And yes, issues have been fixed regarding Trainz. So we'll see how well this stream goes. If it is stable, then the MVR is back. If not, then not quite. But here we are. Also, looking at the shadows, maybe I should have set them down a little bit before streaming, but it seems to be running relatively smooth so far, so maybe it'll keep running that smooth. Hello, Albastru, welcome. Hello. Yes. Greetings. Hello, Kangafango. Yeah. It's you. It's been a long time. How have you been? I've been really busy. Yes. Right, so okay, I've got to remember that here the keybinds are slightly different to what I'm used to. So last time I believe we'd put up all the forest along here and did a lot of the work along this stretch. So what I want to work on today is basically this stretch of scenery here, putting there's little trees along here and some more foliage and little patches of grass so that it looks like it's scenery and not just a green carpet that's got some stains on it. So let's get started with the little trees, and we were using the blueprint trees, the JVC blueprint ones, I believe. Lisa, hello. Hi guys, just dropped by to say hi. I'm about to start Armor 6 Liberation and we're just setting the invasion force up. Ace and 3 others are on Game Master tonight. Okay, I know what some of that means. Yes, thank you for stopping by. Blueprint trees? You can build your own trees now? Haha. I mean, technically yes, because you can make them in Blender or stuff like that and then import them into Trainz, but no, these are just called JVC::blueprint and then something else, some other number. Good luck and hope the game doesn't kill the laptop. It's not a laptop and thank you. Bye. Laptop? Laptop indeed. Laptop indeed. Yes, the Thomas and Friends reference. Right, so let's get started by placing some of the larger trees. And I think I placed them manually on this stretch. Yeah, it does look like it. Because how irregular this is. There really isn't much of a better way of doing this, I think. So, how have you been, Albastru? Albastru, or Blue, as Emichu likes to call you. I'm doing well, thanks. You? I'm doing quite well myself. I'm really looking forward to Monday. Which I keep saying that, and I realized today that probably there are probably quite a few people who look forward to Monday the least if we're talking work that they don't like to do. And here I am saying that I'm looking forward to Monday so often. We may end up deleting some of these trees when I mix in the smaller ones. I love Mondays. I only have to work for 2 hours on a Monday. Ah. Okay, just placing a few back here, as you can see. And I'm just trying to make the tree line a little bit more irregular, because it looks a bit too orderly. I mean, down here it makes sense because we've got the terrain difference where it's so low down and then it raises up, but over there we don't really have that. It just goes up to the normal height that it's at. So providing I get it done at least. Gotcha. Sometimes I have so much piled up that it feels like I'm working 24. I'm assuming 24 hours. But technically that could be cookies. Sometimes I have so much piled up that it feels like I'm working 24 cookies. Not sure how much sense that would make, but not everything has to make sense, as everybody clearly knows. Also, I passed through. Did you hear? V3D recorded sounds for his Optar Solo Digipass Mirage yesterday. I did. Nice. Exciting. Actually, I'll bust through. I forget, do you play Trainz as well? And if so, which version? I probably asked this question sometime in the past before, but I just don't remember the response. I've never played any Trainz. Ah, I see. I was about to say that I've got good news because you'll be able to get your hands on the Haddoncourt tramway quite soon. But if you don't play Trainz, then you won't be able to get your hands on it, so that kind of negates that. And I'll have to look at this from the point of view of the tracks on the right, but I may have to get rid of some of these trees because this does appear to be quite dense. Let's go from the other side. I would consider it, but from what I've heard, it's a money grabber. Which one? Trainz Simulator by DTG, which Shared played yesterday. Yeah, I can see that. Trainz? Not so much. Yeah. Trainz, it depends on what you want. If you want to mainly drive trains, then I would recommend Dovetail Games Trainz Simulator. But yes, the stuff on that you do have to pay for, and the DLCs do tend to be quite expensive, especially if they're not on sale. But if you want to build things like I'm doing now, then I would definitely recommend Trainz, with a Z, Trainz. This specifically is Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019, but 2022 is out. And with this, you've got the whole download station, which, hold on, if I go into Manage Content, do you see that number down there at the bottom? That number, actually, is that working? I think that should be working. You can see this, I believe, is the number of items on the download state. Actually, hold on. If I go into, no, this is just installed. If I go into custom, no, if I go to if I go into download station, so you can see filter on download station true, and these ones I'm just going to remove. So everything that's on the download station is now being filtered. It's going to take a moment. to work itself out. 1 second. There we go. That's the amount of items on the download station. So that's over 600,000 items that you can all use for free. You can just download them at your leisure. So yeah, you can build a lot of things in this game. Unfortunately, there are quite a few bugs, which I have complained about in the past, of course. But I still play it, so there must be something good about it. Actually, looking at it from this angle, yeah, there are a few too many back here. A few too many trees. Because I don't want them to completely obstruct the view of the river. At least when there's not forest in the way. Admiral or otherwise. I guess it'd be more sim than arcade. 660k? No. Yikes. That's installed assets. Arg, you removed the DLS filter. Lord almighty, that's just a few. And the oldest one was put on there in 2001. I'm going to have to believe that because I don't know off the top of my head to be able to confirm it or deny it. But it sounds right. Okay. Over 2 decades back. Pups272, hello, welcome. Those are a few too many trees there. Said Bronze Age people in Dartmoor. Right, hi Kango, you always find me, lol. Well, Kango is quite perceptive. Okay, like that. I think that looks good. I will have to, of course, do more work where it's close to the tracks here, but I think I'm going to do that same thing on the other side of the river, and then we'll see what it looks like. Yes. There's no hiding from Kango. Yeah, Swedar also found that out. Unless, of course, you watch without logging into your account. But then you couldn't type in chat. And what's the use of doing that when you've got a perfectly good account right there? Well, I say perfectly good. I don't know the reputation of your account, but at least here it's good. BTTV has anonymous mode. BTTV? Back to the vision? Back to the Volvo. Back to the version. Back to the future. Oh, bettertwitch.tv. Ah. Is that an app? I guess? It's a browser extension. Ah, right. I've never heard of that before. At least officially. Okay, I think I'll place a couple more, like in some of those places, to create some more clumps. That's a bit too regular. That needs to go over there. Okay. And do I want to place them further back on here as well or not? We'll see. Maybe in some of these places, like over here where it's very thin. Has things like extra animated before Twitch added them, emotes and auto-claim channel points plus layout settings. Yeah, sure. If you need that, then great. I've never found myself in the position where I would have needed any of that. Except maybe the layout settings stuff, but so far, for what I'm using it for, Twitch's normal layout is fine. Although, I have, because of course my normal computer is still broken, for when we stream, when Kango streams Minecraft, and I'm in the, either Kango streams Minecraft or the convoys or stuff like that, and I'm in chat or I'm not streaming myself. I would have liked I would have liked to automatically host Kango's channel, but apparently Twitch got rid of the auto host feature. So that was a bit surprising. Yeah, apparently they got rid of it. I mean, I guess you might still be able to do it manually through chat if I like typed in /host and then the channel name or something like that. I don't know if they got rid of that as well, but the auto host they definitely did get rid of. I think it's under recommended channels now. I couldn't find it there. I couldn't find it there. Host channels. Yeah, like that. Hold on. Let me quickly... Because I did look at the... one second. Oh, where is it? Channel and videos. I've got featured, and then there are suggested channels. But it only says display channels in an order personalized to each viewer, display channels in order they appear in the list. Automatically feature channels from your suggested channels in your channel carousel when you're offline. Is that the same thing then? Hello, welcome Tom. Tom Steed 130. Hello. From what I understand, all hosting was removed. Ah. So, but then how does that suggested channels thing work? Yes, only suggested channels now. But how does that work? And what makes it different from hosting? Okay, how does this look? Actually, I really quite like that. Yeah, I can't find the /host command in list. Hosting replays the stream on your account, doesn't it? It used to, yeah. So if I hosted you, it's in my chat, which doesn't help you much. Haha. Well, yeah, but it lets people know that you're live and that you, well, that in my case, it would let people know that a thing that I used to stream, multiplayer, is still being streamed by the other participants. And that the thing is still happening, and that they can still watch it by going to my channel, even if I'm not streaming it. But, yeah, I don't know how the suggested channels works. One second. Okay, so I can add suggested channels like that. And then if I turn that on, So I've just added Kango Fango to the suggested channels list. I've turned them on. So now if Kango were to go live, what would that do? If you went to my channel, would it then come up with a pop-up saying Kango Fango's live? Or would it still... I guess if it's suggested, then it would be something like that, wouldn't it? Like a notification that people got if they went on. Just shows Sharedice recommends these streamers. But does it actually show you that those streamers are now live and you can now watch their stream? It would show Kango at the top of the list, I guess. Interesting. Not sure how much that would help. I guess it would help if it also showed you that this streamer is now live. You can find out tomorrow. Yes, we can actually. Good point. Okay, now let's just add some bunches of grass like this. Okay, I'm actually quite surprised by how smoothly this is running. The only thing I'm a bit worried about using this computer for this is that in the past it has taken ages to pre-cache content and it wouldn't display assets or UI elements or things like that. I don't know if that has been remedied or if that still happens or not. Because it can go, isn't that one of the main reasons why you stopped streaming Trainz yourself? Or has that not factored into it? Well, yeah, one of them, yeah. Well, what were the other ones then? Well, ... At from or otherwise? Okay, how does that look from over here? Pretty good, but I need another bit of grass there, because of course the perspective shrinks down all the distances if you're looking at it from a low angle. I did stream Gary's mod last year, then Portal 2. Then we did Mudrunner 3 times, then Scribble.io, Civ 6. And after that we did Scribble.io again, until now. Ah, I see. Well, what about Sunday? So that was my slot. Talking of Scribble, will there be another games night on Wednesday? Sunday has turned to Convoy Day. Sunday has turned into a convoy. Yes, we're all very confused. Yeah, good. I know, that's about the games night. Just gonna fill in this whole little hill there. I enjoyed it until Emi-Chu drew that soldier. I mean, when the thing you're drawing is a reference, then kind of it can work great if people get the reference, but if people don't get the reference, then, well, you're kind of out of luck. Yeah, I had no idea what that was supposed to be either. Just not familiar with the franchise, but that happens to all of us. We might play a bit of Use Your Words this coming Wednesday too. We may. I thought the hoodie was short shorts. Never playing that. Yeah. Or heard of it even. Yeah, you can... So the way that works is you watch the... Well, either you watch the stream on Twitch or you watch through a Discord screen share, and then you've got a browser window open to type in your responses. And there are things like adding funny subtitles to foreign language movie scenes, or adding captions to pictures that are like a headline in a newspaper, or stuff like that. I'm assuming it involves words. It's quite similar to Jackbox Party Pack games, only it's not by Jackbox. Yeah, what Paradise is saying. If you're happy to let me join in, would I need to be on the VC? Extra, extra. That is a strange response to Albastri's question, but sure, I'll go along with it. Extra, extra indeed. An extra edition of a newspaper. Okay, so how does that look from up here? It looks okay, but it needs a little bit more to fill in some of these blank spaces down there. It's up to you. If you'd like to join, that'd be great. But it's not strictly required to participate. Cool, thanks, sure. I think if I were to join, I'd test the waters on a non-stream VC first. Okay. That's all quite nice. Right, I need a little bit more grass over here. At least I don't have to go all the way down to the model railroad supplies store and purchase another bag of static grass to then apply to this with static electricity and glue. Could you imagine how long and how expensive that would be? Like, it's a blank spot there, I need a bit more grass. Oh, the bag's empty. Hold on. Let me travel 20 miles to the store. At that point, you might move house just to be closer to a model railroad store that's affordable. Because you're all evil crocodiles. I mean, have you tasted our crocodile's tears? If so, then, well, then you know. That would be interesting. You could join the voice chat before we go live on Twitch. Okay, we'll see how I feel on the day. Sure. Okay, right. Now this bit is mostly hidden by forest, so I probably won't have to do that much more grass-wise behind that. Anyways, back to your stream, haha. Sure, of course, if you insist. So, yeah. I will probably add a bit more grass along here, just so that if you're looking through the trees, you will be able to see some spline there. Although, yeah, I can't really see most of it, but that's okay. Making sure that the splines is kind of filling in these little grassy gaps between the trees. And then I'll have to check how much of this I've painted under in the other areas back here, because I know in some areas of the route I've painted darker grass textures underneath splines like this. And if I've done that there as well, then I'm going to have to do it on all of this bit. Let's zoom in a bit and see what that looks like. Well, it's not very helpful actually, so I'll zoom back out. I thought it would be, but it wasn't. Okay, so yeah, let's go back here. And yeah, actually I haven't even... Yeah, because back here on a lot of this I haven't actually put down any grass splines, which I probably will need to remedy because it does look very empty. But over here, yeah, I definitely need to place more stuff along here. I also, well, I might need to think up some interesting bits I can put along this stretch, because it is fairly lengthy, and I don't want it to be boring if you're just going along here. So I might need to think of some interesting bits I can put along the way, some landmarks, as you go along. But before we do that, I will need to drive a train along it, which will actually be the first time that we will be driving along that stretch of track, which is quite odd, because usually when I build something in Trainz, I build a little bit, then drive a train along it, then build a little bit more, immediately drive another train on it, then build a bit more, and so on, just to get that perspective, as you can tell by my previous Trainz streams. But I haven't done that here yet, which actually I find quite surprising. At least not on this stretch of track. It's also useful for figuring out things like grades and things, like how difficult they are. Okay, also, the way use your words works is that only one player needs to actually own it on Steam, in this case me, and I'd share my screen via Discord. People participating will need to have that up, as well as a browser window, wordgames.lol, with enter room code and password to enter your answers and vote for others' answers. Might sound a tad complicated, but it's really very straightforward. We will tackle that when the day comes. Yes, indeed. Oh, yay. Exhausted elderly voice. It's been a month. Well, a bit over a month. Grades. Back to school already. Back, yeah. Yes, back. Definitely. Yeah, back to school, yes. Definitely. Probably, unfortunately, as Halloween holidays are over, right? Yes, definitely back to school, yeah. Halloween holidays were a month ago. Well, it's difficult to tell time when the way you keep track of time is by Trainz live streams, and then you stop having Trainz live streams, so I'm sure you can appreciate that. We can all appreciate that, surely. Yes, we can, and don't call me Shirley. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, because back here I had a lot of these grass lines along the embankment here, which I think I'll carry on up to where the road is, but then I might switch it up and leave it the way that it is currently, because I do kind of like that more open feeling, but we'll have to see. Surely not. Do you know where that joke is from? The, yes I am, and don't call me Shirley. I know Kango knows, but do you, Blue? I think maybe. Well, that sounds very... Ah, well, there we go. Kanga put it. Possibly not, though. There, no. Yeah. I would highly recommend that film. It is a comedy, and one of my highest rated comedies that I've ever seen. And you know that I like films, so when I say that it is one of my highest rated films of a specific genre, then that has to count for something. But of course your tastes may vary. This, just by looking at the artwork there, you know it's a comedy. Is that the one with the knot, the plane in the knot? No need for Rotten Tomatoes when Paradise is in town. Well, if it's a film that I've seen. Also, thank you for not throwing Rotten Tomatoes at me. Right. Yes. But the funny thing is, if you didn't know the language you're watching the film in, you'd more often than not have no idea it was a comedy movie. Yeah, it has a... Well, I don't think that's true. Because thinking back on it, it has quite a bit of physical comedy as well. Like, for example... Well, I don't really want to spoil it now because Albuster might want to watch it, but... I think if you think back on it, I think that there's plenty of physical comedy in there that you would get regardless of language. Like, for example, the thing with the water, and the thing with the woman who's finding it difficult to remain calm, and the thing with the autopilot, and the thing in the air traffic control tower, and basically a lot of things. By the way, that film, Airplane, that is the film that got Leslie Nielsen his basically recognition as a comedic actor, because before that he did lots of drama and serious stuff. But it was that film that, well, that got him his iconic comedy style. And then he was put into, well, for example, Police Squad, which was basically made for him, and then The Naked Gun as well, and stuff like that. And Dead and Loving It from Mel Brooks as well, and things like that. Also, do I really want to have this going through the forest like that, along the tracks? Or would it make more sense to have it going along the road? I think it would make more sense going along the road, so go around and do this bit. Yeah, because I can have it, yeah, if I make it follow the road, I think that's best. It's hard not to. Watching media in MFLs is actually a great way to learn languages. What do you mean by MFL? Trainz, yeah, true. True. Yeah, true. Well, yeah, but well, yeah. But still, a lot of it is also played comedically straight-faced. Oh yes, the deadpan nature of Leslie Nielsen's comedy, and a lot of the actors' comedy, is a large part of what makes it funny. But I think you would still recognize that it is supposed to be funny, even if you didn't speak the language. Media Forlaun? Modern foreign languages. Ah. I see. Is that a commonly used abbreviation? If so, why is it important that the modern be in there? Because if you're talking about foreign languages, it's kind of assumed that you're talking about a modern language, because otherwise you'd be talking about ancient whatever. Like, for example, ancient Chinese or ancient Celtic or things like that, which, yes, would probably be considered foreign languages, but still, I don't really see the need for the M in there. Just felt like being lazy and not typing language. Oh, right. I suppose that's a good, as good a reason as any. Well, as some. Gotcha. It's common in education, I think. Ah, yes, something that is overly complicated and isn't really that useful being common in education. What a surprise. Okay, Egyptese. I've heard it before, but I doubt many people use it. Stream title, finally building them the armor. Okay, so I'll save and give it one fly down. And then I think it's time to test drive it, to see what it actually feels like when you're driving along it. That train, yeah, that's on the yard lead. So that's good, that's out of the way. See, the yard lead is doing its job and we haven't even gotten to the sessions yet. Actually, no, I forgot I wanted to paint on this before. 1 second. I need to paint this stuff. Okay, something like that. Bit of a smaller brush. But yeah, some of these areas down there I will have to update at some point, because in the more than 2 years since I've started this route, I have improved my building skills, so some of these areas are a bit outdated, I think. Or at least a bit different than the later styles. Okay, and actually while we're at it, I'll place some of the grass pline along here. By the way, Shadows, you've got this new NWNGR already installed. Do I? How? My computer isn't even operational. Oh, you meant you have it installed. Ah. Could place it down and give it a glance over. I mean, if you want me to, I can. You're not the only one with that problem. Approach medium and his PNB is the same. Yeah. Because I suppose it might be the same with, I would imagine, with writing books or stuff like that. Especially if you're a new writer, but even though I've already got so much experience with this, every time I build a route, I learn a new technique or a new way of doing something, or a better way of doing something. And then it kind of doesn't fit that well anymore with the rest. Okay. Yeah, I think I am going to put down the grass splines along the tracks here first, and then we're going to test drive along it, because this is something I will have to do anyway, and if I do this first, then we won't have to do 2 separate test drives. Yeah, like this is, for example, an example of a thing that I didn't do when I started this, which is put down the grass pline in the forest at the edge here on some of the old baseboards. Whenever there's forest, it's just the trees and bushes and stuff like that, but not actually grass pline. Okay, and we'll bring that up to about there, because then at this point we get into the town area, and that's a whole separate build to... It's a separate scene, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. So now I'm just going to put down some more of these splines a little bit deeper into the forest. I'm not going to take too much time in placing this carefully, because you're not really going to see it that much. It's just if you look to the side and you look into the forest, you'll be able to see something on the ground there. Although with shadows on, it's not too big of a deal, because the shadows give more detail to flat surfaces anyway. Right, name idea. Linstead Abbey. Oh, that's quite a good name. Have you looked at the Swedish Steam locals on DNS with full startup and all the Steam features? No, this is the first time I've heard of them. Do you have the KUIDs? Question mark. See, now I'm immediately thinking about, ooh, if I were to make a Swedish route, or fictional Swedish route, or whatever, a route set in Sweden, to use these locomotives, would there be signals for those? And if are those signals up to date? Do they work on Mac? Because I know some of the German signals, at least in Service Pack 2 on TRS-19, didn't work. I haven't checked them on Service Pack 5. And then my mind's already going with ideas, and I'm thinking scenery-wise, like probably mostly rural stuff, single-track mainline probably, depending on what the locomotives are like, and then having maybe some lakes that it runs between and things like that, and then thinking about what kind of industry Sweden is known for and what kind of things, what rolling stock would be there. And my mind's already going with all of that stuff while I'm just here busy placing grass. However, I'm not going to run off and start a new route just from that, which, yes, quite a few years ago I would have done that, because it sounds like an exciting project, and I would have just gotten started with it and probably abandoned it a bit later because it wouldn't have been planned out. But not anymore, because I actually want to finish these. Actually, finish locomotives, there we go. That's another thing. Are there any good Finnish locomotives? Okay, so that's one side. Now I'll do the grass on the other side of the tracks in the forest. Yes, been updated. Yay! Yes, don't run off. Don't abandon us and leave the MVR to us in chat. Ooh, I'm not logged in. Could you perhaps... Hold on, Tom, are you on my Discord or not? Because if you are, could you please post the KUIDs in the Trainz chat? If you're not on Discord, would you mind sending or posting the KUIDs in Twitch chat? There's the author. Okay. Right. Hold on. I'll just copy that. Hold on. You can pin messages in... What? You can pin messages in Twitch chat? Really? Huh. That's interesting. There you go. It's pinned for 5 minutes. How? Well, there's a button right next to the reply button. That seems really useful. I've known about push pins for quite a while, but this is ridiculous. You've known about push pins for quite a while. Yes, good. Ooh, how about... Hold on. How about these? Are these ridiculous as well? Or not so much? Well, yeah, but more useful than ridiculous. That's always something to aim for. Being more useful than ridiculous. Unless being ridiculous is the use, in which case you may want to consider being equally ridiculous as useful. In the context of Trainz, XD. Okay, just doing a little bit more painting work on here as well, because I think that will be needed. Yeah, we're gonna need stuff along here as well, but I'm not gonna put that down now. I'll put that down later. Have the W and J route in what? Payphone? Have you? I don't know, what do you mean, a W and J route in Tiers 19? Also, yeah, I still haven't been able to check out the stuff that you recommended before, because, again, my computer is still broken. And I can only use this for the stream, so, yeah. But could you please say what do you mean by that? W and J? Yeah, roadside payphone. Maybe not. I don't know. West New Jersey or something? I have no idea. Oh, it's from that author. And I just used the pinned message to check that it was actually the same author, so it is useful. There's the proof. KOD, that. Too many locos to put all their KODs in. Oh, wait, so... wait, so that route, the W and J route, does that have all those locos on it then? Or are the two unrelated? Okay. Yeah, I just need to put some more grass along here as well. This stretch is longer than you think when you're building stuff on it. You might be in a stream delay. Maybe. Okay, tell you what. I'm going to put now in chat, and I'm going to say now on at the same time that I post it. And then you can count how many seconds delay there is between when you see it and when you hear me say it. So 3, 2, 1, now. Interesting. Oh, I have a lot of delay. Time to control R. Sure. Have fun with that. Or pause and play. Yeah, that can also work. Also, yes, I know I've not put the correct trackside objects on this stretch yet. I know that. Unrelated. Do you know of the Ban Big Gardner site? It has all the signals, buildings, rolling stock, etc. No, I don't. Plus, I'm using, for all my routes, I'm only using either built-in stuff or stuff that's on the download station. Just because I want people to basically plug and play my routes. I don't want people to have to go to other third-party sites to download stuff. Plus, with sites like that, they can always disappear or be shut down, and then, well, then people won't be able to see your route the way that was meant to be seen anymore, which would be unfortunate. Very hard to do for Swedish, I found. Very few items. Oh, have you tried making a Swedish route then? A pity. I guess if I were more experienced with making assets for trains, I've only made a test object really, and the beginnings of a train. But if I were more experienced in it, then I guess I could just make my own stuff. However, for things like signaling, I assume that it would get quite complicated with scripting. Save again. Modified another route from what was supposed to be Norway, but did not look it, so use the Swedish stuff. Ah, right. And in case you couldn't tell, yes, I have started painting underneath all of these bits of grass. Originally I was going to test drive first and then see if it was needed, but from those perspectives I just got, yeah, it is needed, because it just makes it look so much more interesting. It gives it so much more depth, which is really needed when you've got an area as large and flat as this. And by flat I mean in terms of detail. Solitegelma was the route. Looks so nice now. Ah, I'm glad you're happy with it. Okay, is that a lot of it done on this stretch? I know I've not done all of it. Yeah, there's still quite a ways. I guess I might as well do it now, because there's really no point in delaying it. Oops, put an extra E in after the T. After checking. After the T? Oh, right. Oh, I see, yeah. I see. Thank you for correcting it. Yeah. I'm not forgetting to save. Okay, after I've finished painting underneath these bits, then we're gonna get to a test drive. I then converted it to narrow gauge, like it was supposed to be using EMT's trains. Ah, right. I bet the bulk replace update tool came in handy there. EMT? I'm guessing that isn't East Midlands Trains by case. I had to relay the tunnels by hand, quite a pain. But yeah, I guess that if it's supposed to originally take place in Norway, there would probably be quite a lot of tunnels. Although what you could have done with the tunnels is leave the original tunnels in place and then put some sort of asphalt or concrete spline over the top of the tracks and then manually lay narrow gauge tracks over the top of that, so that the narrow gauge, the actual tracks that your trains are going to be riding on aren't actually the tracks of the tunnel spline, but just tracks that go through the tunnel that are laid on top of that. Maybe that's what you did, I don't know. Almost done. And okay, save. And oh wait, do we have, what trains do we have on here? Hold on. Vehicles. For the Flying Yankee, don't really want to do that one. No, that's too far away. Ah, but for these ones up here. Ah, yes, I think this train will do nicely. I'll have a look at those links in a moment. Replaced them completely very curvy in parts. First two are long. Sadly, its railways are now part of the national road system. Oh yeah, that's sad. A lot of the lines in the UK have met the same fate, unfortunately. It's quite ironic as well, because now a lot of the highways are built on, well, some of the highways are built on old track beds, and those highways are now clogged. And it would be so nice if there was a train system that could be used, but now the highway is using the infrastructure, so it's just unfortunate. Okay, so let's start from here. By the way, these repaints were not made by me, they were made by a fan of the route, and they've been uploaded to the DLS. I will be making my own livery as well when we get to making the sessions. Which doesn't mean that I won't use these ones. I think I will use some of those as well on the route. It might be something like, these ones might be the older livery, and then mine might be the newer one or something like that. We'll see. Right, let's have a look at those ones. Ah. Very interesting. Looking at the links. That's very beautiful. I see. He climbed into the live stream and nearly fell off by surprise. Inspector, do you see progress? Alright, the gory. I forgot about it. Yeah, maybe afterwards. Even more funny, the cities that took out the tram systems that now wish they did not. Most told by people they bought from the USA to consult. What? Oh, right. Yeah. It's just sad. Okay, we've got to get the correct train, which should be up here somewhere. There we go. Got to switch over the sound, hold on. Oh, that's a bit loud. Got to nip down to the shop quickly, so I'll be back in 10-15 minutes, sorry. That's okay, have fun at the shops. Okay, so here we are. Is our train loaded, by the way? I don't think so. No, it isn't. Good. Okay, now I've just got to switch the points. Is this already the track we need to use to get over? No, it isn't. Good. Okay, so this should be going straight. Yes. Here we need to switch over. And then this should, theoretically, just send us right down the correct way. Yes, and this one needs to be switched that way. Okay, so let's get started. Oh. There we go. Cinnabit. I wish more cities in the UK had kept their tram and trolleybus networks. Not to mention railway connections. Blandford Forum, Portland, Brixham come to mind. Land Regis as well. It is really raining quite heavily out there. Actually, that reminds me, I didn't even set up any of the speed limits, did I? Oh well, we'll just have to wing it. 50s musicians, Michael Flounders and David Swan, come to mind too. They've composed quite a beautiful song about the beaching cuts. Beautiful, yet sad in tone. Yes. I know. Donald Swan. What did I say? David. Oh, sorry. Very nice. Yes, it is very pretty. Love good caboose interior. Also a good shop, right? Or a little shop, rather. Also, this will be uploaded to YouTube as well, but it is probably still going to be a while because I want to upload my streams to YouTube in chronological order. But in order to do that, I would have to upload the Minecraft streams as well, which I can't edit because, well, again, my computer's broken, but I do want to do that. And when I am able to do that, all the streams will be uploaded to YouTube, so... so don't be surprised if you've got about 300 stream uploads in the span of 10 minutes. That's going a bit fast. I'm still used to this bit not being finished. So it feels quite strange driving on here with it actually looking like scenery. Yeah, same. So nice though. I agree. Pleasant to the eyes. I see. Yeah, that does look good, doesn't it? It would look even better with the longer render distance. Bridgetown action. Lift bridge action. That looks downright stunning. Aw, thank you. it is going to be interesting making sessions for this. Although before I can do that, I have to... I mean, even after all the scenery is finished, I'd still have to set up all of those industries that we just put in place and didn't even set up. So what I'm going to do is probably go through the entire list of industries in the Command F menu and just go through all of them, make a list, and then like a spreadsheet and see where stuff goes. Back near the start, you went past a grain field that had bales on it. Is that a texture? The bales, no. They are objects that I've placed myself. Is it this? Yeah, so these are all individual objects that I've placed myself. However, you can use the copy and paste tool to place them on an area, copy it, and then paste it over. So, but yeah. Will you also make a session using a speeder? Maybe. It is a distinct possibility. I return! Good. Good. It's always nice when a good guy returns instead of a villain. Who says I'm not evil? Well, you just said it. You said, I'm not evil. Or do you deny that? Look, they are the first flowers I placed on the map. Those foxgloves there. Everyone, the blue is back, XTD. Note, we have video evidence. Yes, we do. Is there a prefer not to say option? I mean, if there were, then I might prefer not to tell you about it. Thus using it. Okay, so this is the new bit. Okay, we definitely need grasses along this bit. This is just not finished on the left. Now, if we wanted to, we could turn right and go up the Milton Valley. Not up the river, but there where the junction is. But we're not going to do that, we're going to go straight. And actually, that reminds me, originally, when I built this, I had imagined this being a Y, but then when I came up with the idea of having the city, the big city down there, I wanted the yard in the city to be used more. And so I decided not to put in a Y there, so the trains coming from over here would have to either go all the way to the city, or over to sidings where they can run around their train or something like that, and then go back the other way. Okay, yeah, so this bit also still looks a bit empty. Is that... yeah, that's just this starter bit. That we built before we extended it back here. Oh, imagine that, though. If it was like the ground shrubs texture, or whatever it was called, for Haybayfield. That would be very interesting. Yeah, because Trainz used to have textures that had models on them, like flowers, or there was that tropical one, I think, that was used on the Darjeeling route, that had like little ferns and palms and stuff on that. The last one of those options does include further future questioning though. I was through. How was the shop? Yes, I remember Chardonnay's. Good. Was the Premier Express, so not great. Oh right, Premier. Okay, so that's the stretch where the road travels along the rails. Yeah, I like how this looks with the grasses. Although this is a completely flat grade here. It's completely flat. I may want to change that a bit. Although the point of having all these curves in the line is so that we can have it flat. But from a gameplay perspective it might be more interesting if it were a little bit hilly. Like Eagle said all those streams ago. I think this is quite nice. I don't think that this stretch needs too much more in terms of landmarks or interesting things to pass by, because the forest kind of opening up and closing on the side already gives a bit of change as you're going. But maybe we could have like a grade crossing or something in here with the road going up that way or something. And with a bit of a longer end distance you'd be able to see all the docks down there and stuff. I do like this view. Okay, looking very nice. Imagine like a session or a multiplayer game or something where we've got another player switching stuff down there. That's very nice. And of course you've got to also imagine houses being on this bit. I really like how this has turned out. Or how this is turning out, I should say. Also, I really like the fact that these F7s look like they just fit in the scenery. Where's that lag coming from? It's the passengers! Right? Anyway, I don't know. It went away very quickly. Maybe it wasn't the passengers, I don't know. If in doubt, blame the passengers. Yes, it is. On my computer, I still had the old one, but considering that it seems to be everywhere that has a passenger thing, it updated, it's probably just a new version of the old asset, which is really annoying because the old asset was great because it wasn't too time. Like you could, those old assets from 2012 you could use just as easily on a route set in, I mean, maybe up to the 50s or something like that, and they wouldn't look too out of place. Even in a route that is set much earlier, they still wouldn't look too out of place because you've had women wearing dresses and skirts and men mostly wearing things like suits or working clothes. So there wasn't anything too time specific about it. But these new 2020 assets are very clearly from a modern time. So any route, like for example the Haddon Court Tramway, that's set in end of steam era, so around 1960s-ish, maybe 50s, they don't fit. That's about 9 miles. Almost 15 kilometers, well, to the end of the tram, well, more like 14, from where we started. Yeah, 9 miles. There's the 9-mile marker right there. And then here we of course still need to put in grasses and things like that. Okay, we don't really need to go too far along this curve because, well, you wouldn't go that far in the sessions. So that's good. Now I'll read chat. While it loads in. 1 second. There we go. Was the Premier Express not great? The small umbrella shrubs of Somerton. Right, was it evil? They're never that polite down there, and half the things aren't labelled. Probably not great working conditions then. The co-op door didn't open, so I didn't go there. Though they'd cost more, so I guess I saved myself there. Was there a closed sign on the co-op door? No, I think they're meant to be open late. And the lights were on. Maybe I'm too small for the sensor. Well, that seems to be a bit of an oversight. Maybe the human behind the counter went out for a few minutes to pop to a shop. Is it? It's not a motion detector? Not sure. Yes, it is. But they're meant to not work for or small people, i.e. kids. Well, that's not right. What if you send your child to go grocery shopping and then they've got to knock on the door every time to be let in? That's annoying. That doesn't seem right. So, so kids can't enter-exit the store on their own. I mean, presumably enter them, although exit, I don't know. if they can't exit on their own, that might be a fire hazard. Seems hazardous, yeah. Unless it's a US thing. I don't know. Never heard of it. It's so kids can't mess around unaccompanied. I see. But if some incident happens, it seems dangerous to not enable children to leave the premises. Yeah, it might only be that entering is the restriction. Yeah. In 3 games, we want our passengers 2012 back. Please make that the default once more. Whoa, 9 miles? Like, wow. Low to bits. By small kids, I imagine it's less than 12. Ah, right. Are you that short? Are you shorter than a 12-year-old? Although, saying that, in recent, like the current generation, or yeah, the current generation of that age, do seem to grow faster than previous generations. At least it seems that way. I'm not sure if that's because of growth hormones in things like meat products or milk products being more common or different, or if there are different reasons for it, but I definitely get that impression. But people's heights do vary quite a bit. Seems like a bad idea to just say people below this height can't access doors or something. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's a success. Now let's finish putting the grass on that little area back here, and then we'll see where we're at. You missed quite a few messages, didn't you? What do you mean? Which ones do you mean? I don't know which messages you mean, sorry. From 22 to 29 onward? I did miss out, I did deliberately not read a few messages like, not sure. All right. Her. And I see, yeah. I didn't read those out, or some like that, because it's really not necessary, I think. You still get the gist. Going back to those locos, they take 4.5 minutes to start up. Oh, interesting. Like, what sort of stuff do you have to do to start them up? Do you have to, like... Oh, that's not the right button. Do you have to, like, start the fire, or oil them, or do... Like, what do you have to do? Someone said about before, but if some incident happens, it seems dangerous to not... I did read that one. I did read that one out. Yeah, it looks beautiful. I did enter the game, so we want our passengers 2012 back. I did read that one out as well. The yeah, it looks beautiful. I didn't read that one out because, well, that one's on stream. And with how large the chat currently is being recorded, there's no issue seeing that. And plus, I think that message, I thought that message was more so meant to, like, for me specifically, that you wanted to tell me that it looks beautiful. And I did see that message. I know that you might not necessarily know that I saw it, but considering there was that emoji in there, it would be quite hard to miss. Okay, now what would that look like? Almost right. And yes, I know I'm using the taller spline here deliberately. Just click on a box in config menu and the fireman does all that for you. Just wait. Ah, I see. I thought it was like in with some of those locomotives for train simulator, where you've got to go through the entire process of setting it up. We've got to push that switch and push that switch and pull that lever and stuff like that. But is there any kind of animations that you can watch, or like how do you, like, is there any feedback on what's happening as the setup process is, well, happening? Or like, do you hear injectors, or do you see valves turning, or is it just you press the button and then you wait for X amount of time and then you can use the locomotive? Ah, sorry, must have not caught that then. The Gory, alright, sure. Let's have a look at the Gory. Yeah, I just wasn't sure if you saw it. Okay, let's have a look. Is it this one, I'm assuming? Yes, it's a beautiful model. Lovely detail, lovely texture work. I like the weathering as well, that adds a lot. All the rivets and things. I used to use the old version of this locomotive quite a lot many years ago. Pretty much whenever I made a 2-foot gauge line, I pretty much always used to put this one and Lilla on it. Has anyone also made like a updated version of Lilla? Because if so, then that would be great. Locomotive starting is, yes, 3:29. Do you remember the EU07 that used to be on trains with full startup? Lots of steam and smoke animations, like the safety valves. Sorry, no. If I saw an image of it, I might remember it, but I can't at the moment. Not like that. Sorry. Okay, let's detail this. What sort of... Okay, we used this spline down here, so let's continue to use this one. Maybe? Or maybe... Actually, yeah, let's use this one. Unfortunately, yeah. Same with the FR Britomat. Like just not knowledge. Although, should I use these ones? All the other ones. I guess if we're using the other ones over here, might be better to use those ones there as well. Or maybe not, because this way it's more variety. Olgari was made by Clam 1952. Yeah. I remember way back when I first started using Trainz, I didn't know that you can hold shift to not snap splines together. That was... Back then, making routes for me involved a lot of going in very closely and then just clicking there to add a spline. That is... I'm glad that I found that out quite quickly. I remember back then, it was like, I was like, you can do that? That would save so much time. Of course, not exactly like that, but it had the same spirit. If I remember right, from an external photo site. Oh, right then, yeah, I wouldn't know about it. Sorry. Yeah, if it's from an external site, then I wouldn't know about it. Yep. Lovely locomotives. Glory 2. Dun dun dun. I was just looking at those links. It was quite a job to drive it, even at multi-fields as well. Multi-fields? What do you mean by that? I've not come across that term before with Trainz. Also, yeah, I don't think I'm going to add those reeds along the rest of the river, because I think those reeds take quite a bit of performance. In fact, I may need to replace them even on that stretch, because, I mean, they are 3D objects and they are animated, and we've got so many of them here. But that's something to look into later. Yes, this route does also has multiple fields to it. There we go. Okay, now I've got to do a little bit more painting. Maybe I should have done this first, but oh well. Definitely feels like that's more difficult to do, like kind of mixing in textures like that ever since I updated Service Pack 5. Yeah, even if I press it very, very slightly, like only for a small amount of time as I can, sometimes it's almost like I'm holding it down in a way. But it still works. Now, do I want... I think I want this to be another meadow, thinking about it. I mean, a pasture. Still thinking about it, though. All of a sudden this feels like I'm building the Haddoncote tramway. That had a lot of fields on it. Did I have any sort of bushes along here? Well, I did have these ones here. I think it might be a good idea to have these ones along there. Something like that, just so we've got a bit of a barrier there. Maybe also along here. See, that's a thing I learned from the Haddoncote tramway, well, technically a project before the Haddoncote tramway, but one of those later projects of mine like kind of a method of placing bushes along fences that looks quite natural. Even though I know that might be more of a British thing, so actually I'm not going to put it along the roadside there. But I do like them up here. Change the resistance of the controller starting. We change the resistance of the controller starting at series, only then alter it for less later on. Change the resistance. Oh right, I see. From the Gori 2 Fespedia article, by the end of 2020, various parts for the frames had been procured. Construction was slower than expected due to redacted, but by the end of 2021, the main carrier frames had been assembled, and a number of other parts were being worked on. Yeah. Just imagine though, once Gori 2 is finished, seeing that next to Lilla in real life, and what appears to be a box of chocolates in the shape of a heart. Interesting. With the ribbon around it and some little bits of shiny thing, like lens flare or something. Did any of you get the Welsh Pony pack to support the loco? I've not heard. I'm not sure. I've not heard it. Not heard about it. I don't think. I've heard about it, but I haven't got it myself. I'd never be able to use it, as I always want stuff to be compatible with multiplayer. Yeah, same. It was limited time only. Don't think it's around. Right, so let's put a few cows in there. Just like that, although maybe a couple more. Yeah, I do have to put a bit more of this texture down here because it just isn't very varied. You can see the pattern quite a lot of the texture underneath. Something like that, I think. Did I have any other stuff in this field? Oh right, the longer grass. Maybe. Yeah, I think that could work. Having that kind of slope along here like that. Maybe over here like that as well. Wrong texture. Like that. Yeah, that looks okay. Although I do not like the lack of trees in this exhibit. I think I'm going to use one of those big kind of brownish ones. Where are they? These ones? These ones. All the locos from start to about 1900 or just after no cabs, with just a front board then cabs. It Heaps made the original boxy small England locomotives for trains, but you'd only receive that if you donated to Festiniog Railway. This was a while Welsh Pony was rebuilt RL apparently. Ah, right. Also, Tom, have you heard this song about the Festiniog? I think I know what song that is. Fairly Duplex Engine. That's a good song. I think I am going to place a few of these trees along here. Just like that. Maybe also a couple down there. By a couple I mean 3 technically. And that's annoying. I want this tree to be made small, but now I can't just move it around to find a place where it's small. I'd have to constantly keep replacing it until I find a small one. Or maybe if they had a tool for it, like an advanced tab where you can open it up and then change the size of the speed trees manually. I suppose that one's small enough. Not really that much smaller than the other one I had, but let's move it a bit into the ground. Doesn't that add so much, just having a couple trees there, a few trees there. Okay, now let's head over to one of these areas where I've got the narrower grass spline. Is it this one that I was using? Yes. Good. And I want to use that between the road and railroad back here. Although that does seem a bit narrow. Might need to move the road a little bit to the left in some places. Does that look better? Yes and no. Maybe if it weren't as constant, maybe if I actually deleted some of the bits along here. Maybe some of the bits where it's too narrow. Although this is actually quite a wide bit over here, so maybe leaving this one in would be good. Then having some gaps along here. Come on, update, there we go. Let's save. Okay, and then moving this road over slightly. Just to give us a little bit more space to get the grass over to the side a little bit more. Okay, let's have a look. I like the way it looks, but it does make the little gap over here and the lack of grass over there look a bit odd. So like advanced, enable position-based speed resizing. Or just a tool where you can type it in, the size that you want, and then maybe if you, like a brush tool, and as you paint over an area, it automatically changes the size of the speed trees to that range. I think that would be really good. The grass? Yeah, maybe it's just a bit tall, the grass. Maybe use the campanules here too? What do you mean? Yeah, maybe it is a bit tall. I don't know what you mean by campanules though. Campanula. Oh, is that a plant? Campanula. Okay, let's see. I'll lower this down a bit. Is that going to help? Can we even see the difference? Maybe not enough. Although that is a little concerning when the assets only load this slowly. Or update this slowly even. Although I do think that it's helping. Okay, and then maybe, yep, not that one, that one. Have it like that. Right. Don't remember, but but add it to my favorites. Has some nice footage and video. Okay. Nice. Oh, it's an object. Might look good. I'll have a look. I'm guessing your computer's a bit more powerful and it will be okay on the... Yeah, it should be... It should theoretically be fine. But I will add a little bit of this grass line along here as well. Just so that it looks a bit more... as though it fits in. Not along the entire thing, but just along some prominent areas like this. Over here as well. Save. I should tell you what, I'm going to decrease the render distance a bit. Maybe another little area along here. Yeah, I think that helped. Just a little bit along here, and then I think we'll call it there for this stream. But I do want to have a look at it and see what it actually looks like. Don't know if the new system has less impact on performance. Do you mean... Oh yes, that. The new system. Do you mean TRS 22? Or what do you mean? Or do you mean TurfFX? Because TurfFX does not work on Mac. Oh, this. No. I don't really want those big blue flowers there. You can't use the scatter layers. Scatter layers, yes. So like objects, I can scatter around. That works. But TurfFX does not. It's not supported on Mac. For example, if I go in, look, if I go in here and then go into performance, if I go into actually, yeah, that's on minimum. If I go into detail scenery, I've only got clutter only. I don't have the TurfFX setting available. I can't even choose it. Which is why it does make me a bit sad whenever I see screenshots of these great routes people are building, and they look so great, but they use exclusively TurfFX. Because then, if I try to use them, I wouldn't have any grass on them. So you think more would be supported on Macs now? Yeah, they're not exactly new now. I'm just so glad SES opted to support macOS in the games. Oh yes, I'm so glad that N3Vs decided to support Mac, at least mostly. Because I don't think that I would be able to run Trainz in a virtual machine, given how I'm able to run it currently, because I do struggle with performance quite a bit on Trainz. And if I imagine running it in a virtual machine, then I'd probably have to forget the whole thing in that case. So yeah, quite glad that N3V decided to support Mac. They didn't, so Trainz wasn't always on Mac. I think it came to Mac in 2011 or something like that. But yeah. So yeah, I'm quite happy with how this turned out, this stream. We got a lot done. Are there any areas down here that I still need to finish? We've got the grass along there. I've got that. That all looks nice. Maybe, although actually, yeah, I don't know. Maybe a little bit more of something along here. Maybe a gas station or something here. I think that would look nice. I'm just going to place that there to remind me. Although I do think I've already got a gas station down here, yeah. But I think another one would look good. I'll reach out in a bit. Yeah, so I'll place that here, just to remind me. Actually, tell you what, I might as well quickly, just very quickly, add a little bit of detail to this thing. It won't take long to put in. Okay, then I'm going to need a bit more of this texture. Just like that. And then some of the fuel pumps. Did I not have? Actually, let's go there. Let's get these fuel pumps. See, I know exactly where these assets are placed on my map. He says going to the wrong location for the asset. But But no, that's the new bit. The new bit doesn't count. Okay. Just something like that. And maybe put an old Kenworth or something on here. Like that. Of course, this area could use a little bit more detailing there. But I think I'll do that next time. Although, I might just put a little bit of a different texture on here, because the texture this way doesn't look that great. So hold on. Nope, scale needs to be reduced. Maybe just a bit along here, and then a little bit of this kind of more grassy texture a little bit along there. There we are. That already looks much nicer. Okay, I'm going to set the camera to a good angle, and then I'm going to read chat, and then I might amend this slightly. Yep, that's not what I meant. There we go, fly camera activated. Press that button, press that button. And tell you what, since we're not building anything here, I'm going to increase the render distance slightly. Also, we don't have that much stuff back here to render. Okay, so in 3DS and Urban Games, if only OMSI 2 had also supported Mac, and Trainz Simulator. Team Milton Studios games, yeah, there are a lot of them. Was not the Trainz 12? Well, on Mac, I think Trainz 2010, when that got released, was it 10 or 9? Not sure now. It may have been 2009 that got Trainz 2009 that got the Mac equivalent, which is Trainz for Mac. And then Trainz for Mac 2 was, I think, Trainz 2012. I think that's the way it was. But I could be mistaken. But I think that's the way it was. Trainz 10's Mac OS equivalent was Trainz Simulator. Trainz Simulator. No, I think it was 2009, I think. Or maybe I'm mistaken. I could be mistaken. Maybe it was 10. Thumbnail. I mean, I'm not going to take a screenshot here, because I don't want to keep lots of screenshots for when I eventually will edit all the streams to upload them. But I've got the setting here, so I can just take the frame out of the stream. Take your time. I have. You're at 8 tomorrow, right? 6. It varies. Alright, might not be able to come. Sorry. I prefer it at 8, but quite a few people can often not make it at 8. Yeah, that's fair. 8 works better for me. A Monday and Wednesday is still 8? Yes. The Sign. The Sign? Flying Services? Is that the one you mean? Cool. Thursday and Friday 2, Saturday's 9. It's just the convoy peeps that sometimes need to get up quite early on Mondays, plus they're quite a bit further east from the UK. Yes, fair. True. I will ask him if they could possibly do 7, and if so, I'll let you know. TRS 2009 was the first one to have speech supporters, as far as I know. Oh, right, then yeah, it was probably 10. Yeah, you're right, it was probably 10 in that case. This bit reminds me of my fuel hose drawing last Wednesday. A bit, yeah. Truck actually looked really similar to this one. Oh, nice. So, that is that. Thank you all very much for watching. Just saved in case I forgot. I don't think I did, but I might have. And let's zoom out, exit out of the camera. And that's that. So thank you all very much for watching. I'm glad that people turned up for the grand return of the MVR. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. I think I'm streaming shoutouts? Nah, shoutouts are fine. Except, of course, Kango Fango. Yeah. Thanks for the company. Yes. Bye-bye.